Hello, Holly.
Hello.
Everything wonderful? You ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, and I think really where we're looking at doing is how I know that we've got some campaign. You're the queen of newsletters, and and I really do like to communicate. And that wonderful challenge that you gave me so many years ago with the newsletters and stuff.
Yeah.
I really would like to start utilizing that platform again. And I'm just so rusty with it. Since I'm not really using things like the funnels and stuff, but I want to be able to use it as an autoresponder to stay in touch with whomever I contact with. I'm like you are, Diane. I really liked doing that because I felt like I was having conversations with people and giving individual touches. And when I said something about automating, I wanted to kind of know how to set some up so that I could have some filler ones and just so I could stay connected, but also be able to stick ones in. And I don't think I've ever really worked that system that way.
Okay.
So I just went back into Aweber and I'm like, okay, this looks like I've not been in here forever. So.
It's not hard, and we'll go over it. But what's really important to understand, and I know you get this, and a lot of people don't, you don't have to have all these big funnels and everything to utilize email marketing.
Yeah.
I don't. I have DianeHochman.com, which is kind of static. It just sits there and, go over and sign up. Or I just take people's emails and I just load them on my phone because there's an app for Aweber.
Mm-hmm.
Or I log in and manually add them. So let's say I meet someone somewhere and we hit it off. I say, hey, let me get your email. I'll put you on my newsletter. That way you'll know everything that's going on. They always say yes. Nobody says no.
Yeah. And that's
so I don't have the big, because I'm a networker. I'm more of a meet people person. I'm not an internet marketer per se. I just like to use the leverage of the internet. So that's me. Can you build funnels and can you do giveaways and stuff? A lot of things that people teach, you can. It's funny, I'm old school. My mentor taught me this way. And I happen to be wearing the email player hat tonight. Ben Settle, who's so well known for email marketing, Ben does it this way too. He does the one page. He doesn't have 4,000 different things. It's very simple. And he works based upon his credibility.
Yeah.
And my list is just, look, if you want to hear from me, if you want to know what's going on, let me get you on my newsletter. I don't try to do all this tricky Mickey stuff.
Yeah, and I don't, and that's why because I kind of racked my brains because when I reached out through this session earlier on, I had different intentions, but as we grow, our intentions change, and but I definitely wanted to get away from the funnel stuff because my target audience is not going to be network marketers or people looking for network marketing that much. Maybe a little bit bigger players, but I really like what you do with the newsletter. And like you said, hey, I think I heard you say that. I've heard you say that a bazillion times. Just you want to subscribe to my newsletter, and that's really because people. When I do talk to people that don't want to go to a discovery session as a coaching or whatever, they'll say, well, how can I find out what you're all about? Well, I really don't want to spend a lot of time doing blogs and websites.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I'd rather say, well, how about if we get you to subscribe to my newsletter? Because then they really get to know who I am because I write them. That's me. And that's how
it feels, there's no barrier. And that's what people, when I say, let me get your newsletter, let me get your email for you on my newsletter, that way you'll know what's coming up and what's going on. It's very nonchalant. It's very simple. It doesn't feel like I'm soliciting them. It doesn't feel weird. It's like the PTO newsletter, what's going on at school, or the church bulletin, what's going on at church. It's no big deal. It's no big, it's not this ominous, sexy headline that sells and all this stuff that everybody works hard at. And there's nothing wrong. In case anybody watches this at a later date, I know a lot of people have been taught that, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I do.
Right.
Holly, I don't teach what I don't do. I mean, I know about it, but I don't teach it because why am I going to teach what I don't really do?
Right.
So what do you want to do? You want to go in Aweber? Do you want to go in yours, or do you want to go in mine?
Oh, well, I can go into mine because yours is all set up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think we're better off. So do you see down on the bottom, there's, you hit share screen?
Yep.
Yep. And then when it comes up, a box will come up. You have to click on the thing you want to share for it to come.
Okay. All right. So let's see. What am I doing here? Okay. Now I can't see you.
Yeah, you won't see me, but that's okay. You don't need to see me. But when your thing pops up, you have to click on the box that the screen pops up in, so that I see it.
Let's see if do you see that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I'm not doing something. Your entire
Come
screen.
back to, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Maybe I'm doing it now.
It's coming. Yep. Yep. And I'm going to add it to the stream, and now I can see. Yes. Yay.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
So I need to go into my Aweber.
Yep.
Is that what that's what we're doing now? Can you see it?
So yeah, it's a little hard to see, but I'll make it out. I'm so familiar with Aweber. Holly, click home for me in the gray toolbar.
Okay.
Okay, terrific. So, and you want to pre-set up a couple letters, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to learn how to do this again, and I have some old stuff that I can always copy and paste. I'd just rather just put that stuff to the side and start fresh.
Terrific. So in the gray toolbar, click messages.
Okay.
And then you have a couple choices there. Actually, there's a little pull down there.
Yeah.
One of them is, I can't see. Tell me what the choices are.
Drafts, broadcasts, split test, campaigns, follow-up series, blog, broadcast, email, template manager.
Yeah. Campaigns.
Mm-hmm. Is there a way that I can make this bigger for you so you can see it?
No, but what I can do, well, actually, there's got to be a way. Let me see. Does that do it? It's a little better. Oh, okay.
You got it?
Yeah, so follow-up series.
Okay, follow-up.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have an old, my Aweber is old, so there's parts of it that I still use that are old that because your account is newer, you don't have. So
Okay.
I'm just looking.
You're kind of fading out a little bit, Diane.
Fading out audio-wise or fading out?
Audio-wise, because I can't see. I'm looking completely at my screen, so I can't see you right now.
Okay, it should be okay. You don't hear me?
It's stuttering a little bit. Keep going.
Okay.
There you are. Okay.
Okay. I'm just trying to say, I'm gonna look at my Aweber for a minute. Like, so even though you're there, I just want to look at it so I can see it better. If I'm on YouTube, I'd see it great, but because, okay, we're in campaigns. Is one of your choices in the pull down messages menu follow-up series?
Yeah, one says follow-up series and one says newsletter. That newsletter is probably the one that I would, because it's paused now.
Yeah, I want follow-up series.
Follow-up series? That says it's active, so God knows what it's doing.
Huh?
I have no idea what it's doing.
Actually, you know what? I'm a liar. We're going to not do it that way. We're going to make it easier. Go to home.
Okay.
Okay. Go to create a message, the green box on the right.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to create some messages and then we'll add them to a campaign.
Okay.
Drop email builder.
Okay. Drop and drag.
Drag and drop. Yep. Yep.
This is being recorded, right?
It is. Yeah, it's being streamed. It'll be on my YouTube channel. Absolutely. You can go grab it anytime you want. You can rip it too if you need to.
Okay.
So this is where you actually create a letter and then we can move it to where we want to.
Okay.
Ideas on what kind of follow-up letters that you want to have, or did you just want to learn how to set up stuff?
Well, a little bit of both. I think that maybe a little, just to get me started, then I can start writing like I did before. It's just getting familiar with getting this campaign scheduled. That's what I was saying about, how you schedule. I think I get emails from you almost daily, but not as much as I used to. I don't think they're not every day, are they?
I have been a little delinquent. I will admit it.
Well, I'm not complaining, but I mean, I thought maybe it was the system. that you
No,
have?
no, I only do broadcasts. I do not have any follow-up letters. I only do broadcasts. And then what
Gotcha.
happens is, like, you'll see right now, I'm kind of avid on the letters, and I'll be back kicking and doing a lot. But sometimes when I'm traveling, I get a little delinquent, I admit. And I shouldn't, and I'm a bad, bad girl. And I preach, and I need to practice what I preach. You get a little lazy when things get good, Holly, and then your list goes down, and then you're like, I got to get back at it. So, do you have an idea on something that you'd like to put a follow-up letter about?
Well, I just would just like to welcome them to the. Let's just do this because people are going to go into Appreciation Nation one way or the other. I don't know how I'm going to do it this quite yet. Right now, I do have that set up. So we can do that because I can always modify the email a little bit. But
Okay, I want to back up then. I need to make sure I see your list. Can you do me a favor? On the top left, click the word AWeber.
Mm-hmm.
Do you only have one list going on here, or do you have more than one?
No, I don't remember. I think so.
Yeah, see that little pull down where it says current list and pull down menu?
Current list.
Blue bar.
Okay. Yeah. Manage. Oh, current list. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You have multiple lists. So you have to decide which one do we want to be working on.
Let's see. Let me see what the newsletter says. Let me see what I've got here.
Now go under messages in the gray bar. Messages to the left. No, not manage lists. Messages on the gray bar, in the gray toolbar, not the blue one.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yep, that's okay. And go to just hover back over the word messages and go to follow-up series. I want to see if you have anything in there. You don't have a first letter. Hover back over messages one more time and go to campaigns. Okay, you do have one letter going on in there, which is welcome to the newsletter. Welcome to my newsletter family. There. That's the first letter that you have in there.
Okay.
If you click on that letter, we can see what it says.
Over here.
Is that opening?
Us.
Yeah, there we go. Welcome to my newsletter family. It's not opening the letter.
No, it's not. It's just got a little. Can you see just a little crossbar on it?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. This is different than the tool that I use. So that's why, without my laying hands on it.
Let me try this one here. Okay, let's see what's happening. Ah, there it is.
Okay, there it is. Okay. Unfortunately, it is too small for me to read it. Perhaps you can read it.
Graves letter because you visited my fan page. This might have been something that I put in there on one of your trainings. Mm-hmm. Just to have something to work with. Subscribe to my blog or just flat out called and requested to be on my list. Thank you. Let me start by saying that this will be the only pre-written email. This is yours. I can tell the verbiage.
Right, yes. So do you like this letter as your first letter that they see, or do you want to create?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I can put some of my own things, but I definitely, this was one that when you were doing that training, I think that's what I started working on and put that in there so that I can have some.
Great. So if you're satisfied with the letter, click save and exit.
Okay.
Bottom of the green.
Okay.
And then I'm sorry, I'm just squinting at the screen to see if I can read it. Send a message. Oops, go back to your AWeber.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, click top left AWeber.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
says changes need to be saved. I thought I saved it. Let me just do it again.
You're fine.
Okay.
Okay. Top left hand corner, create a message.
Okay.
Drag and drop email builder.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to show you how you can. What's that?
I have no idea.
Why does it have a color to it?
I have no idea. This is something probably happened when I first joined.
Okay. On the left-hand side, it says background color. See if we click that, or it makes it go away. On the right-hand side, excuse me.
On
Just
the right.
templates, save as template.
Yeah. Okay.
See if you can change that to white.
Yep. There we go.
Okay, I don't want any template. Click on templates on the right-hand side.
Mhm.
Let's see if we can get rid of this template. I don't want a template. See anywhere that says that you can get rid of the template?
Not finding for. Plain.
Yeah. And then apply down the bottom right. I still don't want that.
There's a trash can right there.
Yeah, get rid of it. And then get rid of that. Yeah, get rid of all these little blocks.
Of course, this won't let me do it.
No, that one's fine because that's the first block. So what would you like to write? I'm going to show you how to schedule these letters and how many days apart, etc. What's the second letter that you'd like your folks to receive?
Actually, this is all right. Drop element. What did I
Yeah,
do?
on the left-hand side, it says paragraph. It's on the top section there. Drag it over. Paragraph, drag it over. Drop it. Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I haven't really. Just how about if I put in this is the second letter they will receive?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just so we can learn how to do it. Yep.
Yeah.
Subject line, second letter.
In the subject line.
Yep, up there.
Insert the subject.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Second letter. Yeah. That's just so we can get the kind of understanding that I can always write the copy later.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then imagine, just put something in the text box there, anything, an X, doesn't matter. The text box in the middle of the screen. It says add something.
Add text.
Just put Holly is cool. Whatever.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, then down the bottom, do you save and exit?
Okay.
Now, where it says second letter, it says send options. Pull down that menu. See, and it says you can add it to a follow-up series.
Okay. Now I add it. Now when I was doing these things, maybe things have changed. Or didn't I typically just do schedule broadcast after? What I used to do is write the email that day and then hit broadcast.
Well, it's up to you. You can send a broadcast where you can send it right now.
Okay.
You can send a broadcast where you can schedule it for when you want.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it in a follow-up series, that's automated where they'll go out on certain days.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what I like to do is just have a couple of them where they just keep the people plugged in. So,
Yep. So add to follow-up series.
Okay.
Okay. And then second letter.
This is second letter follow-up one is welcome message. Your subscriber will get immediately after signing up.
Okay. There's two different functions in here, Holly. I'm going to switch to my Aweber for a minute.
Okay.
Share. Can you stop your screen share?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
On the bottom? Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen right now?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So over here we have messages, Okay, we have campaigns, follow-up series. Okay, and so I use follow-up series,
Okay.
easier for me.
Mm-hmm.
So all I do is I write the letters from here, create a message.
Okay.
We just did.
Yeah, this might be even easier for you to show me this, and then I
So
can.
I do test. Here's this copy. Okay. X, whatever it may be. I'm going to save and exit.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to add to follow-up series.
Okay.
Okay, I already have one letter in there.
Okay.
So this one is going to be sent, and I can decide how many days after the first one.
Okay.
2, 3. Now, if like right now you don't have anything in your follow-up series, so
Mm-hmm.
it's trying to make it the first letter.
Okay.
Something in your campaigns, which is a little bit different. I do follow-up series, and maybe because that's old and I'm old and I've been using this for years. But I do a follow-up series, and that follow-up series allows me, like I could schedule one every 10 days or something just to make sure they're getting something in case I'm goofing off.
Okay. Yeah.
Every time you set up a letter other than the first one, which will go out immediately upon opt-in, you get to set how far apart you want them to be.
Okay.
One every month, you could have whatever you want. So this is how we do it. It's very simple.
Okay.
Very simple. And you also can edit like what time of day you want it sent. I just let it do it. But if you wanted it sent on Mondays at 4 p.m., you could do that. You could do Mondays, 4 p.m., whatever, 4:15 p.m. I'll fly.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can make it that it's in everybody's local time. So
Okay.
if you wanted to get fancy dancy, everybody might know that Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, your newsletter comes out.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Any of this junk. That's with me. So every time I want to create a message to go in my series, I just do this, drag and drop email editor or builder, create a letter, and then I add it to my follow-up series.
Mm-hmm.
And then I set how many days apart because it's going to put it as the next letter.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something, which is cool. I don't have a follow-up series here, but there's some. Let's see. This one might have a follow-up series. Let's see. Okay. When you have a follow-up series,
Mm-hmm.
you can drag and drop the letters and change the order.
Okay.
So let's say you write a new letter and you want to change, like number 7. Now you want it to be number 3. You can just pull it. No big deal.
Okay.
No big deal. So you can also just set up a, what I do, which is kind of cool. Let's say I'm writing something, but I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I will go ahead and create a bunch of messages. I have some drafts in here. Let's say I wrote a whole bunch of these.
Okay.
Like all of these. These are just drafts, okay? I can keep them all in drafts until I'm sure of what I want to do, and then I can add them to the follow-up series. I don't immediately put them in a follow-up series. I can write letters anytime I want and decide how to use them.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Okay.
So like if you get some inspiration and something pouring out of you, write it, and then you can decide when to use it later.
Okay.
This is awkward spelled incorrectly. Well, yesterday my spell check wasn't working. And sometimes I start a letter and I don't finish it. Sometimes I write a letter and then it doesn't sit right with me. Sometimes I write a letter and I'm saving it for later. The other thing you can do is go to any of your old letters that you sent already and
some of those are really good.
So like I could go to any letter that I wrote before. Special ends at midnight. See, I can copy it to drafts. So I can move it around if I want to use it in a different list or a different anything else. if one of them particularly had a great open rate or something, I can absolutely go ahead and switch it around.
Okay.
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 So the tool is pretty easy. It's just a matter of repetition of using it.
Right.
And the only way you get used to it is to use it all the time. And that's why I always tell people, you've been in the courses when I taught, you want to use it consistently for 90 days because it's secondhand. So even if I go away for a month and I didn't use it, it's like riding a bike. You don't fall off. But if you don't use it and solidify the skill, it's always like starting over again.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a long time, but yeah, that's true because I did that challenge, and it definitely was something like second nature, you know. And so, and what's so cool about it was that I was living very intentionally, looking for things to write and content to give. You know, it's like I've got this letter I got to write before midnight tonight.
Right? It did get you on your toes. With you, especially with the coaching that you're doing, you might want to have a monthly official newsletter that comes out on the 1st or something, and you can pre-write those.
Mm-hmm.
And or you can write a 10-letter set that everybody gets. A lot of people have that. They have so many letters that everybody gets, plus their broadcasts.
Okay. All right, so that one that everybody gets in comparison.
So there's a pre-written set of letters that are the follow-up series, like maybe the first 10 days. Like let's say you want to coach someone for the first 10 days upon opting in, pre-written in a follow-up series, and then additionally they get any like individual letters you write as a broadcast.
Okay. Okay.
How to do a broadcast?
Yeah, let's refresh. That was the one that I was using though when I was doing those. But let's go over that real quick.
The reason why I tend to teach the broadcast is because they're the easiest for the novice to learn.
Yeah.
You know, the follow-up series and all these different functionality. There's a lot of functionality. It gets a little complicated. So when I want to do a broadcast, like I did one today, if I hadn't done one yet, I do another one, or I do it now. I grab a draft now. Spinning. So I'm going to put my subject line, my copy, and remember, we always want to make our copy bigger than 12. It's too small that way.
Right.
And I'm going to save and exit after I've written the letter. I want to send myself a test to my email to look at it, especially if there's links in the letter, to make sure everything reads properly. It does give you a preview here, but I like to test it. And then when I'm happy with my letter, send options, schedule a broadcast.
Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah.
And then who should receive this message, if it's going to that one list or if it's going to more than one list. When should it be sent? You can send it immediately or you can schedule it.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to do it on Monday or something. I'm traveling next week. I may want to pre-write my letters.
Right.
That would be fine. And then don't worry about automations and stuff. And then just message now, or it would say schedule for if you had scheduled it.
Okay.
So it's super simple because it's just write a letter, send it immediately, or tell it to send it tonight at 9 p.m. or tomorrow at 6 a.m. or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Follow-up campaigns are the ones that are a little more complicated because you're going to create a message, you're going to add it to a follow-up and decide what order and how many days apart you want them.
Okay.
And let me just show you two. Let me go back to that ones that we had to set. This is the follow-up series again. They were pre-written. You see how it says send 4 days after the previous message, send 4 days after? Okay,
Right.
I might want to click on it and edit it and change how many days after. This is an old editor.
Okay.
Really old. These letters are like 15 years old. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, here, it's on settings. So on settings, whoops, wrong thing. It's the first letter you can't change. on settings, see where it says set up how many days apart. Okay. Real simple. Real simple. So, and like I said, you can always drag and drop to change the order.
Okay.
You can click on settings and change the number of days apart.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, one of the things I like best about Aweber, you probably remember, is they have wonderful support. So when you click on help, they have a whole library of information, but I never do that. I just chat 24/7, and they don't speak just tech, they speak English.
Yay.
People that are not technical, they're really great. Like they were helping me with an integration with a particular piece of software the other day. And I told him I wanted to avoid doing something, and he walked me right through it and made it super easy.
Okay.
So very, very nice, very user friendly, and they're 24/7.
Okay.
So anytime you get stuck, like I'm like the first person to go to Aweber chat versus sit there and beat my head, because I watch people, they get really stuck, really aggravated, and I'm like, dude, they're sitting right there to answer your question. Like they're there.
Yeah.
So. And, that, and by the way, I don't feel that way about a lot of support for a lot of things, because it's either overseas, they're too technical, or wait time is too long.
Okay. All right. All right. So here I got two questions, and we might be able to wrap this up. Because I really wanted to keep this clean and simple. All right. So number one, somebody goes into right now. My page is actually, let's say, if I'm going to use a blog or a website or a web or Facebook, just using a link to subscribe. How do we, now, without having to go into super duper funnels and things like that? You know, somebody wanted to say, click here, like in Facebook. I think you say subscribe, and they can subscribe to the newsletter. I think they still have that in Facebook.
They do on a Facebook fan page. They do. You can't do it from a profile.
Right.
You can do it from a fan page.
Okay.
So let me show you that. I haven't set this up in a little while, so if I sound like I don't know what I'm doing, it's because I don't know what I'm doing, Holly. You know me, I'm not afraid to say it. True.
Hey, listen, I was listening to WOR today because they were the only station broadcasting stuff from 9/11 in this whole world, and they were talking about the food festival.
Oh, the wine and food festival. Yeah. Next month. In fact, I literally just asked the other day if there was any chance of tickets to that. So you never know, but I'm going to be out of town, so I think I get home like right before it. So, but Jillian is always up to take any tickets that are available that I don't use. So
yeah,
right here, I think. Hang on. Edit button. You have the ability to turn on the button. And for more about your business, contact you. I think there's a sign up way to make this an opt-in. Hang on. I need to look at it from view as page visitor. Let's see. Okay. This is what my page looks like to a visitor. When they click on sign up, it's taking them to my page.
Okay.
In your case, if you don't have a page, here's what's something great that people can do really quick. In Aweber, you go to sign up forms. Okay. Create a sign up form.
I've never seen this. This is great.
It looks like Aweber actually has an integration right with Facebook.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. How do I add a sign up form to my Facebook page?
Okay.
And it has step-by-step instructions.
Okay. All right. And no use in you going through that. I can do that.
But let me show you one other thing, Holly, just so you know for future reference. Aweber has the ability to create sign-up forms that you can embed into websites. Like, let's say you were using an MLSP blog or a WordPress blog, or they actually stand alone.
Okay. Which
So
that's good to know for the future, because I don't know how much I'm going to be using Facebook, because some of my target audience do not even use Facebook.
So let's pick a template. So they're not too fancy or anything like that, but this is this little template. I just picked one.
Yeah.
Okay, it lets me edit. We want to make that bigger. Font size.
Sure.
Okay, and it's just really simple, right?
Mm.
And you can get fancy with it. But the form itself actually has a link to it. And that link it got cut off because I didn't do it right properly, but you can take these forms and it's a very, very simple web page.
Okay.
Put more copy, you can upload a graphic to it. There's all kinds of things you can do, but it's literally like a little website maker. Well, like the most simple website maker. I just didn't do it well.
Yeah.
To have a little header, you can have the name, the email, sign up now, and all it says is, join Holly,
Okay.
it's newsletter or whatever.
Okay.
So, forms.
And I could use this, this just Aweber directly because I'm gonna have a page set up that's gonna, like the one that you just had, where it just goes, it's just a landing page. It looks like that. It's going to be done in probably the pretty near future. So, and I can just do this. That's where I go to that page, correct?
Yeah, this is where you make the form that gets embedded onto anything that you're using.
Okay.
You can make one of these forms and use it as a page itself.
Okay.
I wonder why it's not working. I'm trying to figure out why there's no sign up forms. It's because I'm on the wrong list. Okay. If you were to look, this is one,
Okay.
that I made in the past to stick on something. Well, this is the one with the most, that had the most. Okay, you see I put a little graphic, and it's a very, very, very simple page. That's not the page, this is the preview. Oops, wrong one. Wrong one again. I'm just so goofy. Publish. So it's like a little standalone web page. And again, it's not fancy. You know my philosophy. If people dig you, they don't care.
Right.
If people don't know you from a hole in the ground and you ran an ad, I would never run an ad into something like this.
Right.
Never, ever. But if I meet someone and I say, hey, listen, I got a little form real quick to sign up for my newsletter, they would certainly not have a problem with this.
Right. Right.
It was originally embedded onto a website.
Okay.
It was originally put onto a real website. So, and you'll see these forms I've been using for years. Some of them have a very high open rate, some of them don't, etc. So with Aweber, with Facebook, you can just do it right from here.
Okay.
I'd like to have a fan page. Where is it? No. That has a button on it.
Right.
You can do it right from there.
Yeah. Which I have a fan page to make sure that I think it might even still do, but I just have to make sure it's redirected correctly. So, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So bottom line is, let me stop the share. You want to think about, come back to you, the scope of what you want to communicate with people. Is this just a casual way that you're letting people know what's up, or when you're doing a webinar, what town you'll be in, etc.? Is this a actual training sequence, perhaps, that they're getting 10 days worth of something? Is this just the way that you write? Like, I don't have a sequence. I just write content based upon what's going on today.
Right.
You might have a 10-day sequence and then it's like that. You might have a once a month something pre-written and everything else is off the cuff. It's really about your flow and the way you want to keep in touch with your contacts.
Right.
And you might also have more than one list. One is a very specific, 12-day training boot camp. And another is just your general newsletter that you're letting people know what's going on.
Got it. Yep. Okay.
So that's really the thing that you want to be clear on is the scope of what you want to do.
Okay.
Mine is, I'm going to touch base with you all the time and let you know what's up. That's the purpose or the outcome of my list. Other people use it as a specific training vehicle or mechanism. Other people use it as a way to, do a sales sequence.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So, yeah, I see how this is really going to be really help a lot. So, because I'm really looking at it in a completely different way than when I first did this. So, and actually, it's funny. Little did you know that doing that 90 days was what you probably did know. Really kind of aligned me about thinking about how I'm going to take that and create something that's not every day, but something that's going to be keep them plugged in, to keep them thinking, because this is all about mindset training.
Yep.
And we all know that it's going to be something that's going to be transformational. It has to be something that's constant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the other thing too that's really important is you're building your audience up. You have to be at the top of their mind. You have to be visible. You have to be in their inbox. You have to be in their social media, depending on how you're, marketing. And a lot of folks, what they do is they start and they collect or gather these leads or contacts, and then they don't communicate with them. And then they only communicate with them when they want something.
Right.
And that doesn't work. You have to be providing them value. You've heard that 1,000 times. And you have to be a known quantity to them. So then when it's time for you to promote something or offer your boot camp or your challenge or whatever you're doing, already opening. You have to train them to open. You have to train them to listen, just like you train your dog, your cat, your kids, right?
Yeah.
Train your audience on how to engage with you, how to interact with you, and train them on what to look for from you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, and if you go back through, because I know you have Twist Your List.
Yeah.
Different types of letters. Like yesterday, I wrote a letter about being a freak and a fringe dweller and being awkward. Growing up awkward. I got a huge response, didn't sell anything. Huge response from all these people that wrote me back that said, if you start something, I want to be part of it. So I'm priming the pump for a membership site I want to do. And I'm priming the pump and getting them excited and getting them ready. And I'm also sorting and seeing who raises their hand, who identifies with the message.
Right.
So the letters that are in between the sales letters are probably the most important ones, and people don't recognize that.
Right. Okay.
I write a letter and I make money. And it's like a politician. Election day is only one day. What do you got to do to get their vote? You got to show up. You got to be visible. You got to talk about the issues. Now it's election day. So sales day is only so many days, but it's what you did to get them to come to the poll, to come to the cash register.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. In this arena too, as you all know, that, and this is why, when I was doing these calls before, it was more about creating your ultimate client. You attract them to you, and then you create them. Who you want to work with, who's really going to be my audience. And if we're talking to everybody, we're talking to nobody.
Right.
So, So that's, I want to be able to create that client so that I can find exactly what they need. Because there are going to be a few options. I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff, but there are a few options, and some are not ready to be coached. Some are ready just to join an accountability group. There's going to be some different things. So that's where I get to.
You ever see them pull the lotto? It's like that thing with all the bubble balls,
Yeah.
or a bingo machine or whatever. That's the way I look at my list. It's like a hopper. I throw all the balls in.
That's great.
I tumble them around with my words, and then I go accountability group. I write a little bit of accountability group, and I hit the button, and so many balls pop out.
Yeah.
Don't pop out because they're like, I don't need no stinking accountability group.
Yeah.
Another day I'll talk about one-on-one something. Another day I'll talk about chicken pot pie recipes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tumbling them around and seeing who pops out, but you have to keep loading the hopper. That's the big secret.
Exactly. Yeah.
Load the hopper and talk to it. Because if I load the hopper, but I never talk to it, they're just tumbling around. They're not even tumbling. They're really kind of sitting there. They're just sitting there. And if I turn the blower on and I start writing letters, they're tumbling around. Then I have to give them a call to action. Why? Click here. Call me. Whatever it may be. Hit my button to schedule an appointment. And I want to train them consistently to take an action so that when I want to actually sell them something, they're so used to clicking or replying to me. I want people to feel real comfortable replying to me. That's me. But I want people to write me back about whether they felt awkward growing up, so that way when it's time to write me back to become a protege student, they're not afraid of writing.
Yeah.
Or scheduling an appointment or clicking a link to buy something. I love to sell people little things, so then when it's time to click a link to buy something bigger, they have no trepidation.
Yeah.
I want to be safe and I want to be accessible.
Yeah. That's, I remember, even before I knew you, I felt definitely that way, that I could respond to you in your newsletters and things. And it was nice. So.
And we're in spaces where you want potential clients to reach out to you. If you're an internet marketer, you don't want people writing to you and talking to you. If you're a network marketer, a coach, anybody in these fields, we want people contacting us.
Right.
Always want my phone to ring, my inbox to be full, my messenger to be full.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think, in your case, it's just a matter of loving on people, collecting them, putting them in there and loving on them.
Yeah.
You're real good at that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, that was the experience I had in those 90 days. I really look forward to it. And people, actually, if I was like an hour late, because I used to broadcast them probably around 11 o'clock and at night. And if I was an hour late, they were like, where is it?
And that's what happens. Your audience gets trained. It was funny. I was in hibernation over the weekend working on a project, and I hadn't really been on Facebook or anything for several days. And I started getting, are you okays?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you. We haven't heard from you. Are you okay? I probably got a dozen are you okays.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. But it also shows that everybody's so used to my being present.
Right.
And that's good, because then you want people reaching out and you want people connecting with you and you want people noticing if you're missing.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So you don't have to do it every day or anything like that. I just do that when I'm teaching people, because if they do it, one, they get good at writing. Because if you write, most people, if they only write once a week, they've only written 52 letters in a whole year, If they only write once a month, they've only written 12 letters in a year. You can't get good.
Yeah.
If you write a letter every day for 90 days, you're getting pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. So one. Two, I teach with the broadcast functionality because it's the easiest thing to understand. And anybody who picks it up and gets into it, they'll look further into learning the next step.
Yeah.
And people who don't, it's still easy for them and they still know how to send a broadcast. So
yeah.
Super easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm not such a fancy email, Ben Settle email player hat. I'm not such a fancy email player. It's more that I'm just consistent.
Yeah. Well, that's what I figured that's, like I said, I was trying to think, what do I want to use this session for? And I thought this would be perfect, to use it for, because that's exactly where I am. Start letting people know where I'm going, what I'm doing, and that type of stuff, because people are asking. So,
And remember, you can always just say, let me have your email, and then just download the Atom app for your phone. If you don't have it, Aweber Atom, ATOM.
let me see if I have that. I think maybe you had me do that once, but let me just make sure. It's ATOM, right?
Yeah.
And let me say, okay.
But it's Aweber Atom because there is another Atom.
Okay. Aweber.
And it looks like this, and it's just an opt-in form on your phone. So I just get people's email addresses, they send them to me on Messenger or whatever, and then I just copy and paste them in here. That's it. You have it? Uh-huh. Yep. No, I don't know if is that Atom or the other one, because there's more than one Aweber app.
Says Atom subscriber sign up.
Yeah, okay. That's it.
Yeah, and I have it on here because it's already on here. It says open. So that was
Just make sure you're on the right list in the pull down menu, because if you have more than one list, you got to make sure you're on the right one. So if I'm out networking, Holly, I just hand them the phone and go, hey, go ahead and fill it in. If I'm home, I just say, hey, give me your email address. So the truth is, I don't even use my website as much as I use this.
Yeah, perfect.
And then what I do is, like, every given day, there's so many, like right now you saw there's like 4 people opted in today, because I'm very specific. I don't have like these fancy dancy offers and stuff. I only want people that want to talk to me, my philosophy. But I have runs where I push, like I'll go get 100 new leads.
Mm-hmm.
I'll focus in per day. And then I'm goofy, like I goof off about it for a while, and then I do a big promotion.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm meeting a lot of people in my early morning walks at 5 a.m. in the morning on the beach and things like that. And the only thing
You're a better woman than me. I'm at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. You're a good woman.
Oh, you know what? It's too hot. That's where I first started. And now I've got this really cool, for some reason, I just want to be there before the sun comes up. I like to be, it's kind of me in the race in the Turtle Patrol. People that
I love it. Awesome. If I were by the beach, I think I would be doing that too.
Yeah, it gets way too hot after 8 o'clock. It really does. But the sun is now rising right off the ocean. So it's coming right off the ocean now. Before it was kind of going behind a building, coming up from behind. I keep telling myself that I'm not going to take any pictures because I'm going to walk. And I end up taking pictures.
I take pictures on my walk all the time of flowers and this and that. It's all right.
Anyway. All right. Well, we are good at time too. Perfect timing too. We right under an hour and we got everything done.
So if you get stuck on anything, feel free to message me either via email or Messenger. Let me know what you're stuck on and we'll fix you up.
Okay. So I just go to your page and get this back if I need it. Okay. Perfect.
It'll be there right after this as soon as it renders.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
Wonderful. All right. Well, hugs and kisses, and it's so good to see you.
And tell that beautiful daughter of yours I said hello too.
I will, and I'm glad that hurricane didn't do crazy stuff.
It did crazy stuff though. It did tornadoes. We don't get tornadoes here. Woke me up at 7:20 a.m., which was a day that I slept in because I thought, oh, it's raining so hard, and I can hear the ocean. Like I'm on the waterway right across from the ocean, and good place to have a retreat, by the way, or what is a wonder shop? Anyway,
I've been dying to get down there, so I will.
But I heard this loud noise, and I sat up and I thought it can't be the rain, and then I thought maybe a storm intensified, and then my phone emergency thing went off, and I said tornado warning, and then power went out. And then I got a text from the sheriff's department that the tornado just ripped through like 850 steps from my house.
You're so lucky, though.
Yeah. Nobody was hurt, but boy, they did some numbers. They pulled some oak trees right out of the ground.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
I'll take the hurricane over the tornadoes. I'm telling you.
I know. That's, I always say up here, what do we get? A blizzard. And once in a blue moon, we get a hurricane, but we're not by the water. So even if it's messy, it's not. Although one time we had one where everything flooded. There was so much rain that like the main street in town turned into a river. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And we were just fortunate because usually there was like a runoff on the side of the house, and sometimes it would rise and come towards the house. I was like sure that our house was just going to flood. And because there was so much rain and everything turned into a river, it literally sucked the water away from our house. So I'm watching it rise, 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 and then all of a sudden it receded and went the other way. And I was,
Wow.
yep.
Crazy.
You never know. But
Yeah.
all in all, it's a good life. We can't complain, right?
Yeah. I said, I'll take it. You take the good with the bad. You know?
Yeah.
So,
You got it. What choice you got, right?
yeah.
All right.
Right.
When do I get to see you? Are you coming to the Vince event or anything? Or
I don't know what I don't know what next event was. I was in Jack Canfield at the other event.
yeah,
So,
you're kind of running in different circles now than
yeah, so
some of the things that you're at.
but I definitely will probably do the corporate event. I'll be able to schedule that out next year. So
Angel has a big event in February in Biloxi, Mississippi, which I haven't given you guys all the info because I don't have it all yet. But
okay, well, that could be doable for sure.
Yeah. That'll be probably 1,000 people. So it'll be a good size event. So it'll be fun. So
That'd be fun.
CCC, if you can make it down there, I'd love to see you. Okay.
That'd be fun. Okay.
All right. I'm going to go itch my allergy eyes.
All right,
Yeah.
dear.
All right.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you later. Bye.
Bye.